Good afternoon. Welcome to the second and the last session of the Aspects of Data Management workshop. My name is Akhil Dikshit, and I'll be talking about consistent query answering via satisfiability solving. Let me begin with some background. In the relational databases, the database schemas are often accompanied with a set of integrity constraints. For example, they could be key constraints where in a table, a set of attributes uniquely determine the entire row of that particular table. The databases that violate the set of integrity constraints set on their schema are called as inconsistent databases. A toy example could be, let's say you have employees table with 4 attributes and employee ID is supposed to be a key, but you end up having 2 rows where the employee ID is the same, 112, which is an inconsistency. In the real world, inconsistencies are pretty much unavoidable, and therefore we must figure out a way to deal with inconsistent databases. There are primarily two approaches to that. The first one being data cleaning. So the idea here is you somehow remove the inconsistencies. You may want to add new tuples. You can delete the existing ones. You may want to update the data itself to come up with a clean version of the database so that you can run your queries on that. This is the main approach in the industry today, but the criticism that this one gets is that this is an ad hoc approach, or this is more engineering than science, because this often involves making arbitrary choices while cleaning the data. Arguably more principled and more scientific approach is based on the notion of database repairs. And the idea here is you don't clean the dirty data, but you handle the inconsistencies at the time of query evaluation. So let me talk a bit more about database repairs. So this is the notion introduced by Arenas, Bertozzi, and Homicki in 1999, and it states the following. Let's say you have an inconsistent database instance I, and it has a set sigma of integrity constraints on it. Now you say that a database instance J is a repair of I if the following three conditions hold. The first one is J should be a subset of I. So if you view the databases as sets of tuples, you can talk about these subset relationships. So J should be a subset of I. Second condition is J should be consistent. That is, it should follow all integrity constraints on its schema in sigma. And there should be no other database J prime such that J prime is consistent and J is a subset of J prime and J prime is a subset of I. So in some sense, this is enforcing a minimality condition. That is, you're allowed to delete the tuples from I to come up with a database J, but you can only delete a minimal number of tuples. You can't delete too much and say that now I have a repair. So in other words, a repair of an inconsistent database is a maximal consistent subset of that particular database. This notion of database repairs is used to give the semantic meaning to query answering over inconsistent databases, and this is called consistent answers. The idea is you take the intersection of the answers to the query evaluated over each of the repairs. So pictorially, this could be said like this. So let's say you have an inconsistent database instance I. Clearly, there's not a unique way to repair a given database. There could be many repairs. Let's say J1, J2, dot, 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 Jn. Now you have a query queue. You evaluate it on J1, you get answers Q of J1. Similarly, you get sets of answers Q of J2 and so on up to Q of Jn. And then you take the intersection of those and you have the consistent answers to Q on the original database instance I. The strong semantic guarantee that you get from consistent answers that you in fact don't get from data cleaning is that no matter how you repair your database, your consistent answers are going to remain the same. Consistent query answering or CQA is a problem of computing the consistent answers on a given inconsistent database. It is often studied for conjunctive queries, also known as select project join or SPJ queries. So in SQL, these are select from where type of queries. So even for these simple queries and for simple key constraints, it has been shown that computing consistent answers can be an intractable problem. That is, it is very unlikely to have an efficient algorithm that computes consistent answers. And you can see why. I mean, the reason is there are simply too many repairs. In general, there can be exponentially many repairs for a given inconsistent database. For example, let's say you have a table R with two attributes A and B, and the first attribute is a key. And in your database instance I, first two tuples violate the key because they have value A1 for the key attribute. And again, third and the fourth tuples also violate because they share the key attribute with value A2. So clearly, this particular database instance has 4 repairs. And you can see if you continue this pattern, you can have exponentially many repairs in the size of the database, and that causes the intractability of that may cause the intractability of consistent answers. Conjunctive queries that have simple yes or no answers are called Boolean conjunctive queries. These are also the ones, I mean, precisely the ones that have no free variables. The problem of computing consistent answer to a Boolean conjunctive query is now a decision problem that's called certainty of Q. And it asks, given a database instance I, is const of Q, I, sigma true? And let's look at some Boolean conjunctive queries. Let's say you have, again, two tables R and S with two attributes each, and the first attribute of each of the tables being a key. Let's say you look at a path query. This is like you're asking for a path of length 2. So you're looking for an existence of 3 values x, y, z, such that x, y is present in table R and y, z present in table S. So in SQL, this could be a query select one from a R and S, where you equate the attributes R.B and S.C. Interestingly, computing consistent answers to this query is SQL rewritable. That is, you can compute the consistent answers within an SQL engine, within a database engine. Now, let's say another example. It's a very similar query, but the difference is in the join condition. So let's say it's a query select one from, again, these two tables R and S, but instead of equating attributes B and C, this time you equate B and D. So you say where R.B equals S.D. Interestingly, computing certain answer or consistent answer to this query is co-NP complete. Let me say a little bit more about SQL rewritability and co-NP completeness. So as I said, for a conjunctive query Q, SQL rewritability means that you can come up with another query Q prime such that evaluating Q prime on the inconsistent database will directly give you the consistent answers to the original query. So for example, let's say your query is select e1.name. So let's say you have a table employees or E with 3 attributes, and your query is you want to find out the names of employees that belong to city London. You can rewrite this query to compute the consistent answers. You can say select e1.name from E as E1, where e1.city is London, and not exists select star from E as E2, where you equate on the key attributes e2.id equals e1.id, and e2.city is not equal to London. So you see, adding this not exists condition, this additional condition, is like filtering out the answers that are not consistent. And that's why Q prime on the inconsistent database I will directly give you the consistent answers to Q. But of course, as I said, this is not true for all queries. So there are many conjunctive queries for which no efficient algorithm is known, and that will remain like that unless P equals NP. So this was a little bit about theory regarding consistent query answering. There have been several approaches, several attempts to translate this theory into practical systems for consistent query answering. For example, Hippo, Conquer, Cons X, and Equip, and so on. These were designed specifically to handle different classes of integrity constraints, different types of queries, and they rely on different methods to compute consistent answers. The problem is most of the existing systems remained as academic prototypes for several reasons. And you can see that there is very little work on aggregation queries. So specifically, there is only one system, Conquer, that can handle aggregation queries. But again, the problem with Conquer is that since it is based on SQL rewriting approach, it cannot handle queries that are not, whose consistent answers are not SQL rewritable. So as I said, the ones that may be interactable, Conquer is not able to handle those. So we decided to come up with our system CAVSAT, that stands for Consistent Answers via Satisfiability. This is a comprehensive and scalable consistent query answering system. Comprehensive in the sense that it can handle broad classes of integrity constraints and broad classes of practical queries at the same time, specifically denial constraints or and queries that are arbitrary unions of conjunctive queries that may involve aggregation and groupings. And this system is scalable because we are relying on SAT solving. So we use reductions to SAT and its variants. So let me give a brief background on what is SAT. So in propositional logic, a Boolean formula is an expression constructed using variables, constants, and Boolean operators. And the SAT problem is a problem of asking whether given formula is satisfiable or not. Meaning that is there a truth assignment to the variables of the formula that make the whole formula true. For example, here is a Boolean formula phi, and it is in fact satisfiable, and you can see the satisfying assignment that you can assign values 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 to variables a, b, c, d, e, and f respectively, and that will make phi true. SAT is the most fundamental and most extensively studied NP-complete problem. In fact, there is a whole research community that works on building SAT solvers. That is top of the line softwares that can solve instances of SAT problem very efficiently in practice. So this research community has witnessed tremendous progress that is often termed as SAT revolution. And thanks to advanced algorithms such as conflict-driven clause learning and look-ahead techniques and several optimizations, that today's SAT solvers are capable of solving instances with over 1 million variables and over 5 million clauses within a few seconds. And as a result, SAT solvers today are being widely used as the general purpose problem-solving tools. And the best part is most of the top-notch SAT solvers are open source. So now we have this motivation. So the research on CQA has not penetrated the industry. And also now we have this tool, a big tool of SAT solving with us. And we have these natural reductions where we can translate the problem of CQA to variants of SAT. So now that's why we decided to build a comprehensive and scalable, consistent query answering system based on SAT solving. This is the architecture of our system. It's a modular system. So on the left, you see a query preprocessor module. It takes the input query and the set of integrity constraints and determines the complexity of computing its consistent answers. And based on that, it forwards the query to one of the next module. So if it is SQL rewritable, then it forwards it to the query rewriting module, which rewrites it and then computes the consistent answers within the SQL engine itself. Otherwise, we have the SAT solving modules. So the first SAT solving module is designed for conjunctive queries or SPJ queries. And the second SAT solving module contains several other reductions that are capable of computing consistent answers for aggregation queries. So let me talk a bit more about these reductions. So just to give you the flavor of the reductions that I've been talking about, how do we convert CQA into a SAT instance? So this is a very basic, the simplest case. So this is a Boolean conjunctive query and primary key constraints. So what do? We look at the database and we look at the sets of tuples that share a key. And then based on that, we form a clause UJ that is simply the disjunction of all of these variables associated to the tuples from that set. So this is like, this set of clauses capture the inconsistency that's present in the database. In the second step, we look at the minimal sets of tuples that satisfy the query. And again, we form sets of clauses, VK, that contain the disjunctions of the negated variables corresponding to the tuples. So this set of clauses captures the satisfiability of the query over the data. And now, if we take all of these clauses in conjunction and construct a formula phi, we can say it's pretty easy to prove that phi is satisfiable if and only if the query Q is false on some repair of I. That is, the consistent answer to Q is false. So now you see, you take the CQA instance, you translate it into a SAT instance. Now you can give this to a SAT solver, see the answer, and then translate it back into the consistent answers that you want. In the real world, queries often involve aggregation functions and possibly group by clauses in SQL. So aggregation and grouping. In fact, the conjunctive queries with aggregation and grouping cover a very broad class of practical queries. But when you think about computing consistent answers to aggregation queries, the problem is that it is very unlikely that they will have a meaningful consistent answer, because aggregation query is often likely to evaluate to different answers and different repairs, and therefore your intersection of that is going to be empty in most cases. So to overcome that, Arenas et al. In 2003 proposed a notion of range consistent answers. So this is a slightly modified notion of consistent answers specifically for aggregation queries. So let me say a bit more about that too. So for an aggregation query, range consistent answers is the tightest range, that is the greatest lower bound and the least upper bound, such that on every repair of the inconsistent database, the query evaluates to an answer within that range. So maybe it's easy to understand this with an example. So let's go back to our example of employees table, where employee ID is a key. You see there are two possible repairs of this database. The first repair is when you keep tuples 1 and 2, but you throw away the third tuple. The second repair is when you keep tuples 1 and 3, but throw away tuple 2. Let's say your aggregation query is you want to count the number of employees for each role. If we evaluate this query directly on the inconsistent database, it will tell you that there are 2 software engineers and 1 software intern. It's easy to see. But this is misleading, because if you repair the data, these numbers are no longer correct. So the range consistent answers say that instead of simply evaluating the query, you give the range, and the range says that for software engineer, the range is 1, 2. That is, no matter how you repair this particular database, you're guaranteed to find at least 1 software engineer and at most 2 software engineers. Similarly, there is a repair where there is no software intern, that is the lower bound is 0, but you're guaranteed that no matter how you repair, you'll find at most one software intern. That's a range consistent answers. So we found several natural reductions from range semantic consistent answers to variants of SAT, and these reductions depend on, again, uh, aggregation functions and presence or absence of groupings and so on. And then we deploy a suitable SAT solver to solve these instances. So just to show you briefly, based on the type of the query, starting with unions of conjunctive queries, going up to unions of conjunctive queries with aggregation and grouping, we reduce this problem of consistent answers to variants of SAT. So again, starting with plain Boolean SAT to weighted partial max SAT, iterative partial max SAT, and so on. And then we use the corresponding suitable solvers. So glucose and lingaling are like plain SAT solvers. MaxHS and MinSAT-Z can handle instances of MaxSat and MinSat and some variants like those. With this, I would like to show a quick demo of CavSAT, so that you can understand what we can do with such solving. So this is a user interface. As you can see on top right, I'm currently connected to an SQL server, a database on SQL server on my laptop. It's actually a TPCH database that has over 12 million tuples, I believe. And if you look at the schema and raw data, you see there are tables like customer, line table, nation, and so on. So let's say you want to quickly find out, let's say this is a query. You want to find out phone numbers of the customers that belong to Canada. So when you evaluate the query, this gives you the consistent answers that are computed via partial maxat solving. And as you can see, there are 10,727 rows that are consistent. And if you see the potential answers, these are the answers when you evaluate the query directly on the inconsistent database. These are the answers that you get. And these are more than 11,900 answers. So you see, out of all these, only 10,727 are the consistent ones. And if you look at the query analysis, you can see on the left that this query is in fact rewritable, SQL rewritable. So you can see the SQL rewritings from several different algorithms. So this is the SQL rewriting given by Concur. This is given by another algorithm, and so on. Now, maybe let's look at an example of a query that is not SQL rewritable. This is a slightly complex query that asks for the names of the customers from Brazil, such that those customers are also themselves the suppliers to some other customers. If you execute this query, you get a set of customers. These customers are also suppliers. And if you look at the query analysis, you see the data complexity of computing consistent answers to this query is in fact CoNP complete. And this is due to the fact that we have this very nice tool called attack graph. So from a query, you can build this attack graph, and the idea here is properties of cycles in the attack graph give you an idea. The properties tell you the complexity of the query. So you see there is a cycle between the nodes customer and supplier, which are the tables participating in the query. And because of this cycle, this query is CoNP complete. And finally, let's look at a query that involves some aggregation and grouping as well. So let's say you want to count the number of suppliers grouped by the nation. So for every country, you want to compute how many suppliers are there. Now, queries with grouping take a little bit time to compute consistent answers, because because we need the iterative algorithm. So for each group, we need to construct and then solve a SAT instance for each of them. So yeah. So you see here, let's look at the first row, that's Brazil. The greatest lower bound is 728 and the lowest upper bound is 787, meaning that no matter how you repair your data, you're guaranteed that there will be at least 728 suppliers from Brazil and at most 787 suppliers from Brazil. With that, let me go back to the presentation. So conjunctive queries, I mean, I have been talking a lot about conjunctive queries and primary keys, but conjunctive queries capture practical but still a limited class of queries. And similarly, primary keys are also important, but still a limited class of integrity constraints. So though we started out with conjunctive queries and primary keys, we can extend these. We managed to, in fact, stretch this to unions of conjunctive queries with aggregation and grouping, and over the databases that are inconsistent with respect to arbitrary denial constraints. So in some sense, this is how much you can push with SAT solving. We have some experimental results, and for the sake of time, I'm not including them in this presentation, but you're welcome to see our paper, or even in the Q&A session, I can show some results. To summarize, the framework of database repairs provides a principled approach to deal with inconsistencies. There is a lot of progress in CQA theory, but it hasn't penetrated the industry because there's no comprehensive CQA system yet. And given the advancements in SAT solving and the several natural reductions that we found, CAVSAT seems to be a promising approach. And in the future work, we are planning to compare CAVSAT to a state-of-the-art data cleaning system such as HoloClean. This is a challenging task because data cleaning and consistent query answering are fundamentally different approaches to deal with inconsistencies. And therefore, this first requires us to bring these two approaches on the same platform where we can have a meaningful comparison. So this is what we are working on right now. And with this, I think I'll end my talk, and I'm happy to take any questions if you have. Thank you so much for listening.